Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's very special shir, being presented by Chazak, Beth Gabriel. We want to thank Binyamin Meiro for helping initiating tonight's event. He deserves a round of applause. As we know that there's a save the date, the flyer's not out there yet, but a week from yesterday, next Wednesday night, this Wednesday coming up, there's a special shir with Rabbi Ben Sion Schaefer from the Shmooze. Special dating and marriage seminar right in this room, 8:30 p.m. right here. Just came with a new book called The 10 Really Dumb Mistakes Very Smart Couples Make. It's going to be a tremendous lecture. It's going to be right over here in Beth Gabriel. Chazak event together with Beth Gabriel and Emmett Outreach. After the lecture, everyone should go outside. It's a very special sale. All proceeds go to Chazak. Yalkut Yosef in English translation. A tremendous volume. It's usually $40. It's $25 only tonight. Everyone should pick up a copy if they would be interested. And just a quick word about the Chazak organization. Rabbi Mizrahi has been here in office firsthand, knows that everyone, because we know Chazak organizes amazing events in Shurim like tonight in person, virtually inspired thousands of people, but people might not know that they have after-school programs in over 20 locations, inspired thousands of children throughout the year, and has transferred over 1,200 children from public school yeshiva, and everyone watching right now, and in person, everyone knows someone who has children in public school, and they should reach out to them, and give them the Chazak as a resource, and it's a tremendous resource that we could really do. It's also nefashos, it's a tremendous mitzvah, and it's a great honor. I think we should give a round of applause and stand up for. It's a great honor to call upon the Rav of Har Lebanon, Rabbi Yaakov Mizrahi.
Thank you, Rabbi. I want to thank Chazak as well for everything they did. Really phenomenal. And what Rabbi was talking about, the PSTY, the public school to yeshiva boys, Baruch Hashem, it's great to hear they're already up to 1,200 boys they took out of public school. It's something that should really touch all of our hearts. What Chazak is doing, aside for spreading Torah through the shiurim that they are putting together, it's really the after-school programs and bringing children back to Derech HaTorah. It's really heart-melting every time we see that they're out there being podeh shevuyim, mamash mitzvah pidyon shevuyim, and taking these holy neshamot from public school and bringing them tahat kanfei shechina. You have tremendous ya'atah dishmaya to continue doing the great work that you're doing. Rabbi, you, the entire team, the Meirov brothers, Rabbi Meirovs, and Be'ezrat Hashem bizocheh to see the Geulah Shelema b'mehera b'yameinu amen. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you so much. We should have continuous beracha and hatzlacha b'kol mikol kol. It's humbling to be here. I always feel when I come to Beit Gabriel like I'm back at home. It's a beautiful kihila, and you should be zocher lesagseg to continue going mala mala b'torah v'yirat shamayim v'chen yiratzon v'nomar amen. We're beginning 3 parashiyot, Parashat Shelach, Korach, and Hukat. That an unfortunate event happens in every parasha. In Parashat Shelach, as we know, the Meraglim come back and they give a negative report about Eretz Yisrael, and we travel the desert for 40 years because of that. In Parashat Korach, Moshe's greatness is contested by Korach V'adato, and then we have Parashat Chukat. Parashat Chukat is when Moshe Rabbeinu hits the rock instead of speaking to the rock, and because of that he doesn't go into Eretz Yisrael. 3 parashiyot that have something unfortunate that happens in the parasha. I want to try to maybe link the 3 parashiyot together. We'll start with the Gemara Masechet Ta'anit. The Gemara Masechet Ta'anit, Daf Daled, tells us, Shelosha sha'alu shelo kehogen. There were 3 people that asked improperly. 3 people, they asked something from Borei Olam, but the way they asked was not proper. They weren't precise in their way of speaking. Who are these 3 people? So one of them was Eliezer. Eliezer Eved Avraham. He was going to find a kala for Yitzchak. And he says to Hashem, the girl that I tell her, please give me water, and she comes and she gives me water, that girl, I know that she's the one that signed for Yitzchak, my master's son. The Gemara says, that's not how you speak. The girl that I asked for water, if she gives me water, I know that's the girl for my master's son. What if the girl that came out was limping? What if she couldn't see? You're going to give Yitzchak Avinu to marry someone that has a deficiency? He was on the Mizbeah. Yitzchak was a potential Korban Olah. And you're going to get Yitzchak a Kala that has an ailment? It can't be. you shouldn't have said it like that. It wasn't proper how Eliezer asked. He didn't ask properly. The second person that asked improperly was someone called Shaul. Shaul was the king of Bnei Yisrael at the time, and they were going up against the Pelishtim, and there was a warrior called Goliath that was challenging, and he said, why spill blood? Let's have a duel. Pick your best men, come up against Goliath, and whoever wins is the victor, and the opposing nation is the loser. Why do we have to go into war? And he's threatening Bnei Yisrael, and you can just imagine Goliath, a giant of a man, with his war gear that he's wearing, and he's going and challenging Bnei Yisrael. Who's going to want to go one-on-one against Goliath? Almost nobody. Shaul said, whoever beats Goliath, I will give him my daughter to marry. He'll be the prince. I will give him tremendous wealth. And the Gemara says, that's how you speak? Whoever beats Goliath, you'll let him marry your daughter? What if an Eved, a slave, beats Goliath? What if a mamzer, says the Gemara, kills Goliath? You're going to let such a person marry the princess? You didn't speak properly. The third case is someone called Yiftah. Yiftah was one of the Shofetim of Bnei Yisrael, and he was going out on one of the wars, and he said to Borei Olam, if I come back victorious, the first thing that comes out of my house, I'm going to bring as a korban. And the Gemara says that's not how you speak. Also didn't speak correctly. The first thing that comes out, you know what the first thing that's going to come out of your house? How'd you say that? But the Gemara tells us 2 out of the 3 people, they got what they wanted. Eliezer and Shaul, even though they didn't say correctly exactly what they were supposed to say, maybe on the level they should have said more precisely what they meant, but Eliezer got what he wanted. He wanted a tzaddiket, he wanted a girl that's temima, and he got the Rivka. The second person, Shaul, he also got David HaMelech as his son-in-law. So they got answered what they wanted. Sha'alu shalo kahogen. They asked improperly, but 2 of them got answered properly with what they intended. In a way, they got what you wanted. It was proper for you. Okay. The third, Yiftah, unfortunately, he didn't get what he wanted. He intended that his sheep is going to come out and he's going to bring his sheep as a korban after a victorious war. But what happened was that his daughter came out of the house. And some say that he killed his daughter. Some say that he had to put his daughter on a mountain, and she stayed there the rest of her life. She never got married, she never had children, because that's the first thing that came out of his house, and that was the kiyum of the neder. And the begging question asks the Ben Ish Chai, I don't understand. Eliezer didn't say properly what he was supposed to. Shaul didn't say properly what he's supposed to, and they got answered. Rivka came out, David, he went and saved Bnei Yisrael. Why didn't Hashem make it that the sheep is going to come out? Why is it by Yiftah that he wasn't zocheh to get answered the way he wanted to get answered? And the beautiful answer that the Ben Ish Chai says is, what's different about Yiftah is that he wasn't careful how he spoke in regards to kavod shamayim. When it came to the honor of Hashem, you should have been extra careful. Okay, Eliezer, maximum Yitzchak marries a girl that is limping. Okay, that has nothing to do, Yahasit, in regards to kavod, the honor of Hashem. Okay, if an Eved beats Goliath, it's not the end of the world. It has not much to do with kavod Hashem. But Yiftah, what you said is directly connected to the honor of Hashem. You weren't careful when it came to the kavod of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When it came to the honor of Hashem, you should have been extra careful, even more careful. And you weren't careful. And that's why he didn't get answered the way he intended. Because when it comes to kavod shamayim, we're talking about our tafkid. Many people, they don't know why they're on earth. It would be very unfortunate if there's a Yehudi that's living his entire life, day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, and he's clueless of what his mission is on earth. What am I supposed to be doing? Say the tzaddikim, say the sefarim kedoshim, tachlit ha'adam ve'haberi'ah. The purpose of mankind, Yehudim, the purpose of creation, lekadesh shem shamayim, is to glorify the name, the existence of Hashem, to let the world know there's a Borei Olam, one and only. That's what we're here to do. At the end of the day, our hishbon nefesh is how much kavod shamayim did I bring out today from my day-to-day activities with my family, with my children, with my peers, with my co-workers, with the congregants in the shul, with everybody around me, with the goyim in the street, with the sheshes, with everybody that saw me today. Did I reveal to them in my way of living that there is a God and one only? Was it clear? They're like, wow, look at this person, look at this Yehudi. Did I do a kiddush Hashem? Or God forbid, did someone do a chilul Hashem? Our job is lekadesh shem shamayim, that they see a yid walking in the street, tzaddik yesod olam, the goyim, they say, look at this Jew. Look how he's so polite, how he drives. Look how he walks in the street. Look how he's so cordial with the cashier. Look how he says thank you. Look how he walks out of the store. Look how he doesn't cut the line, and he's not trying to honk every time there's a green light and cutting us off. Ben Porat Yosef. Kazer ha'ev kadesh. That is a kiddush Hashem. That's what we have to be showing the world, that we are the chosen people. And by us living the way we do is showing them, and we are the light unto the nations. There is a Borei Olam that created the world, and it inspires them. We are showing the world that there is a Borei Olam and only one Borei Olam. When the Goyim see a Bat Yisrael, how she dresses with its tzeniut attire, even in the hot summer days, and they can walk out, Hashem Yishmor ve'yatzil, and they see a Bat Yisrael, that's a Malkah, that's a princess, that's a queen. They see her, every step that you are taking, you're doing a Kiddush Hashem. Every single step that you are taking, they say, wow, what are you dressing like that for? It's a boiling day. That's how queens dress. You ever saw the queen, how she dresses? It doesn't matter how cold she has, the way she dresses. She's royalty. They see a Bat Yisrael. Wow, every step, Kiddush Hashem. In our life, our job is lekadesh Shem Shamayim, to sanctify the name of Hashem through our beautiful actions. Yiftah, you weren't careful enough when it came to the honor of Hashem. You should have been more careful. Because when it comes to the honor of Hashem, we cannot play any games. We cannot make any mistakes. Chilul Hashem is the exact opposite of why we are here. Kiddush Hashem is the name of the game. There are 4 people in the Torah that got a letter added to their name. In this week's parasha, we have Yehoshua. Yehoshua, instead of being called Hosea, he's now called Yehoshua. He gets the letter Yud. There was someone else that got a letter, and that's Yitro. Yitro got the letter Vav. Instead of being called Yeter, he's now called Yitro. Avraham got the letter Hey. Instead of Avram, he's now Avraham. And Sarai is called Sarah. She also got the letter Hey. It's amazing if you think about it. The 4 people that got a letter added to their name are the 4 letters in Hashem's name. Exactly. Yehoshua got a Yud, Avraham got a Hey, Yitro got a Vav, and Sarah got a Hey. They all got one of the letters from Borei Olam's name. Rav Nassim Gerstetner, born in the Sefer Litadin Ba'avatecha, he says, why is it like that? Why did he get a letter? Fine, he got a letter, I got it, no problem. You want a letter, get a letter. But out of the letters of the Aleph Bet that they got a letter from Hashem's name, because what they did in their life is they sanctified Borei Olam's name. Avraham and Sarah, they were mahzir people, ta'at confess, shekhinah, showing the world there's one Borei Olam. Avraham being mekarev the men, Sarah being mekarev the ladies. And they were showing them there's a God in the world. What are you doing here? Nonsense, avodah zarah. They brought kedusha to the world. And they were mekadesh Shem Shamayim. They get a letter from Hashem's name. Yitro, needless to say, how he was mekadesh Shem Shamayim. Someone that did so much avodah zarah. And he turns around, 180, he drops everything. Wow! You are a tzaddik yesod olam. Imagine the goyim, they see this. The biggest tameh person that did every avodah zarah. You're going to now go and throw your avodah zarah away? And you're going to now go serve Hashem? That is such a kiddush Hashem. That is something unbelievable that Yitro accomplished in his life. And Yehoshua brought Bnei Yisrael into Eretz Yisrael, a land where there is extra hashgaha peratit, where Enei Hashem Elokecha, Hashem's kavyachol hashgaha, Hashem's eyes, Hashem's hashgaha is on Eretz Yisrael extra. B'schut you, Yehoshua, you have no idea what kind of Kiddush Hashem came about. These 4 people, these 4 tzaddikim, they brought a tremendous Kiddush Hashem. And there was okay to get a letter and Hashem's name added to their name. Our job is to make Kadesh Shem Shamayim in our lifetime. The Chafetz Chaim, beautiful story brought down in multiple sefarim. When he turned 80, he asked one of his Talmidim, could you please do me a favor? Could you please make me a birthday party on my upcoming birthday? The Rabbi asked, B'simha, for sure, what a joy. It would be our honor and our privilege to make a birthday party for the Chafetz Chaim, especially when he got to the age of 80. Gevurah, beautiful. But he was thinking, the Chafetz Chaim is never somebody that cared about kavod or birthday parties or honor or respect. And all of a sudden now he's asking. Rabbi asked, we're doing. They made a beautiful birthday party for the Chafetz Chaim. When he turned 81 again, he asked for a birthday party. 82, every year, they made a beautiful birthday party for the Chafetz Chaim. Until one time, someone had the courage. And he asked the rabbi, Rabbi, please tell me, why is it that you asked for a birthday party? You never cared about birthday parties, and now you care about it? What happened? He said, I'll tell you the truth. My entire life, I was a little concerned that if chas v'shalom I pass away young, it would be a very big chilul Hashem. Why would it be a chilul Hashem if you pass away young? That's the time that Borei Olam said you got to go. Well, why is that a chilul Hashem? Because his entire life, the Chafetz Chaim was working on multiple things. And one of them was Shemirat HaLashon. And the Pasuk says in Tehillim, Mi ha'ish Chafetz Chaim. Who's the man that wants life? Nesor leshoncha mira, watch your mouth. You're the one that wrote the book about watching your mouth. And this rabbi passed away young? The Pasuk says, you want life, watch your mouth. You wrote the book, you for sure watched your mouth. Passed away 60, 70, it's not young. But no one would say that's old. That's not called Chafetz Chaim maybe. That's not called someone that got longer life. When he hit 80, he said that's it. For sure no one's going to call 80 young. For sure 80, that's the age that there's no more Chilul Hashem if he passes away at this age. And thanking Hashem that he didn't make a Chilul Hashem and that he was okay to do a Kiddush Hashem, he said, I want to thank Hashem, I want to make a birthday party. And every year that he got after that, it's another gift. Longer life, longer life, longer life. No Chilul Hashem, more Kiddush Hashem. Our job as the chosen people is to make Kadesh Shem Shamayim, because the Goyim know that we are chosen and we have a mission. We can never lose focus of what we are here to do. There's a phenomenal story that I heard from Rabbi Wolkin back in Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh. He heard the story from his wife, who is a shadchanit in the story. And his wife gets a phone call one day from a certain Jew. And he says, Rabbi, can you please set me up with the shidduch? She says, yes, I don't know you. Can you tell me something about you, where you're from? Give me some background. He says, let me tell you my story. So the way it goes is that this gentleman, he was in the army, and after he finished the army, completely unaffiliated to Judaism, he wants to now go tour the world. So he ends up in Africa. And in Africa, he's on an ATV, straight going into the safari, where the worst thing that could probably happen to someone on an ATV in the safari happened to him. He ran out of gas. Ya haram. No more gas, back in the middle. Now you're thinking the lions, the tigers, and the bears. He's thinking the cannibals. And sure enough, he looks behind the tree, and there he sees some Indian chief who's looking right at him. Now you're not outrunning these people. Borei Olam gave them some type of sprint in their legs. They run faster than jaguars. Don't you realize the people that always win the marathons are from Kenya for a reason? They know how to run. He's zipping. He can run. He's not outrunning this guy. Chalas, you're done. Say Shema Yisrael, Yoshem Beseter, Anna Bekoa, and see you later. And sure enough, the cannibal comes over to him. And he asks him, where from? So the only thing he really knew about himself, nothing about Judaism, but he knew he's from Israel. So he says, I'm from Israel. So he looks at him and he says, you Jewish? He says, oh boy, here we go. That a little more spicy now. You can make shawarma. What are you going to do? Yeah, Jewish. So he says, yeah, I'm Jewish. He takes him to his tribal court where everyone is sitting. And he says, this is what the man says about himself. He's saying this to the Rabbi. He's standing over there. He tells all the people around, he's Jewish. It's like, oh boy, here we go. What are they going to do now? And they were shocked. They said, you Jewish. And they started bowing down to him and chanting, chosen people. I'll add my own rendition. They probably had a hoo-ha-ha, somewhere in the middle over there. And they were chanting, chosen people, chosen people, chosen people. And they escorted him safely out of the forest back till he gets to Eretz Yisrael, safe and sound. And he's scratching his head, practically thinking, what just happened over here? They understand that I'm chosen, that I'm picked, and I don't even know what that means. I gotta find my roots, what's going on. And sure enough, he started doing a lot of soul searching. And he was zochet to be chozer b'tshuva, calling the Rebbitzin and now asking for a shidduch. Our job is to realize we are the chosen people. And it comes with a mission. It's a zechut, it's a privilege, and it's a responsibility to bring kavod, honor, to Hashem's name. How much are we doing our mission? How much are we bringing honor to Hashem's name? In our day-to-day acts, with the simplest things, we're able to make Kadesh Shem Shamayim, not putting on a show, being real, being genuine, realizing what it means to be a Jew and what zechut we have to be Borei Olam's children. We say to Hashem every single day in the tefillah, a thanks. We praise Hashem for picking us. Baruch Elokeinu shebera'anu lichvodo, who created us for His honor, to bring honor to Borei Olam. And that is something phenomenal. You can have someone going his entire day, and at the end of the day, he's thinking, how did he do financially? How's the bank looking? How many sales? How many customers? How many stores? How many cars? How many houses? How many clients? You have missed the point. That's not your heshbon nefesh that you're supposed to be doing. That's not your calculation that you're supposed to be thinking at the end of the day. How much did you gain? Rather, we're supposed to be thinking, how much kabod did we bring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How much did I fulfill my job? How much was I loyal to my mission? To do the Ratzon of Hashem, to do the will of Hashem. Rabbi Tauber, he says if someone has the right perspective, how his whole life could be so much more beautiful and so amazing. If only a person has that perspective, he has that clarity. And he gives an example. And he says, let's say a guy has a meeting. He's waiting 3 months for this meeting. Finally, the buyer comes, the day comes. He's about to go into the meeting, and all of a sudden, he has this tremendous pain in his tooth. He can't even go talk in the meeting now. Emergency dental appointment. He can't even go. So he's going to be burning inside. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm waiting 3 months. I got to get these buyers. I got to make the sale. And now I can't even be there. Habibi, you have forgotten your purpose in life. Your purpose is not to make the sale. Your purpose is to do Ratzon Hashem. If Hashem wants you to be at the sale, over there is where you will make Kadesh Shem Shamayim. And if Hashem wants you to be in the dentist office, then that's where He wants you to make Kadesh Shem Shamayim. It doesn't matter where you're going to be. At the end of the day, you have a mission. Where Borei Olam puts you, that's where you have to make Kadesh Shem Shamayim. Now He decides you here. Now He decides you there. In your world, you thought, I'm supposed to be there. I want to be there. But it's not where you want to be. It's where Hashem wants you to be. In order to make Kadesh, to bring Kavod to His great name, because you have a mission. And you have a zechut and you have a privilege. And don't forget to do your mission. Rabbi Orlovsky once told us a beautiful story at one point of his life. I guess he was debating if he should be a rabbi in a certain area. And then he went to his rabbi to ask him, Rav Moshe Shapiro, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh L'Bracha, and he asked him, Rabbi, what do you think? Should I take the position? Should I not? There's someone in Chutz La'aretz. So the rabbi came to him and he told him, an answer. And Rabbi Orlovsky said, but Rabbi, I don't want to go to London. And Rabbi Moshe Shapiro said to him, David, in life, we don't go where we want to go. We go where we're needed. It's not about you if you want to go or you don't want to go. You have a mission. Stay focused. If He wants you to have a baya today, that's where you'll make Kaddish Shem Shamayim. If He wants you to be in the dentist chair, then that's where you'll have to make Kaddish Shem Shamayim. To each their own. You have a tafkid. And with that, we could understand why is it when somebody passes away that unfortunately they say Kaddish. The Kaddish is fortunate, but unfortunately the person passed away. What's the association between someone passing away and saying Git Gadal Vit Kadash Shemer Rabbi, saying the Kaddish? Why is it that that's what we're saying right when a person passes away? Now, the person passed away, say Kaddish. So many people say, hey, he's saying Kaddish to the person. His Ilui Neshama. I saw a beautiful Perush. You know what the Kaddish is doing? Unbelievable. Ishtabah Shemo La'ad. Unbelievable. Every Jew has a mission. When a Yehudi that was kasher, when a Jew that was a tzaddik passed away, he's no longer able to physically bring glory to the name of Hashem. He's no longer able to make Kadesh Shem Shamayim, to sanctify the name of Hashem, to do beautiful things in beautiful ways, and to bring honor to Hashem. He's not able to do that anymore. So the world is now lacking this person's Kiddush Hashem that he could have been making. So what we do after a person passes away, what someone does is they say that Kaddish Yit Gadal Ve Yit Kadash. We're asking Hashem, even though this person is physically lacking, we don't want your name, your wonderful infinite name, to be diminished from the kabod. Therefore, Yit Gadal, may your great name be glorified, be great, and be sanctified, even though there's one less Jew on earth. And with that we can understand what is so awful about Sinat Chinam. If you really think about it, Sinat Chinam, baseless hatred, any hatred to another Yehudi. If a Jew hates another Jew, God forbid, then it bothers you that this Jew is doing mitzvot. He's bringing honor to Hashem. Fine, you have something but he's bringing honor to Hashem. He's praying, he's saying berachot, he's doing mitzvot, he's being mekadesh Shem Shamayim, sanctifying the name of God. And that bothers you? That bothers you? You should be walking around, Baruch Hashem, another shul, another Beit Midrash, another yeshiva, another Yehudi that's walking around, another ambassador of God. And it bothers you and you're upset at another Jew for no reason? Sinat Chinam, it's like you're saying, I don't want this person to make Kadesh Shem Shamayim. I don't want this person to exist. God forbid is what he's saying. This person's existence is bothering me. I don't want him here. You don't want him here? He's bringing honor to Hashem, and that bothers you? That's the exact opposite of the purpose of why we are here. We should be more than happy when there's a fellow Jew that is being matzliyah and is going up and succeeding. We should be looking, Baruch Hashem, look how great, what a tzaddik. And instead they're doing the opposite. That should bother us when we see there is sinat chinam. When we see baseless hatred. There's nothing worse in a way than this sinat chinam. Now that we understand a little bit why we're on earth, and the beautiful tafkid, the mission that we have, to be real, to be genuine, to realize that we are chosen, and to sanctify the name of Hashem through our day-to-day actions, while we raise our family, while we support our families, while we make a parnasah, all phenomenal and important things to do. But realizing as we are doing so, the ultimate goal is to make Kadesh Shem Shamayim. Then let's go back to the three parashiyot. And the three parashiyot, what we will see that they all have in common is that there is a Chilul Hashem. Parashat Shelach, they came back and the Meraglim said, Ki atzum hum mimenu, Chas v'shalom kavyachol, they're stronger than God. Hashem can't take us into Eretz Yisrael. There's giants there. You're intimidated by giants. Ya haram. What a Chilul Hashem. What a Chilul Hashem. Parashat Korah. Something amazing the Gemara tells us, that when Korach contested Moshe Rabbeinu, the sun, the moon, they went to Hashem and they said, we don't want to shine anymore until justice is done in honor of Moshe Rabbeinu. Korach is contesting Moshe. That's it. Imagine that. No more sun, no more moon. Shevita, we're taking a strike. We're not going out to shine unto the world. That's it. We're not going to shine. You know what Hashem said to the sun and the moon? Hashem said to the sun, Hashem said to the moon, every single day there are goyim that are doing avodah zarah and bowing down to you, the sun, thinking that you're God. And you never once contested and said, I'm not going to shine today, to show them that I'm nothing. You didn't one time stand up for my kavod, so to speak. But for Moshe Rabbeinu's kavod, now all of a sudden, you the sun, the moon, he's saying, I'm not going to shine because Moshe Rabbeinu is challenging him. So for the honor of Moshe, you know how to stand up. But for my honor, you don't know how to stand up. So ever since then, the sun and the moon, they refuse to go shine onto the earth. And the Gemara says, in Masechet Nedarim, that the only reason that the sun is shining is because Borei Olam forces the sun to go out every single day and to illuminate the earth, only because Hashem says. Even though the sun refuses to do so. Unbelievable. The sun is bringing tremendous kavod to Hashem with its magnificent light that Hashem is giving it. 93 million miles away. And Borei Olam says you have to go shine. There was a Chilul Hashem that happened over there. I remember there was once an incident that in a certain shul there was a lot of talking. During the Sefer Torah, maybe during the Tefillah, out of hand. And my grandfather, who was from out of town, went to that shul for that Shabbat, and he hears a lot of talking. He's not used to it. Okay. And then somebody got up to speak, to give a derasha or something, to make an announcement, and he could hear a pin drop. You could hear a pin drop. Almost everybody was quiet. And my grandfather was shocked. When the Sefer Torah is being read, talking. And when a person gets up to speak, to make an announcement, hush. My grandfather got up. Please don't try this in your local shul. And he said, Hazaku Baruch to you. Really, don't try this. I'm telling you, really, it's not something I'm recommending at all. It's my grandfather. He was already older and well respected, and he could get away with things like this. And he said, Hazaku Baruch to you. Everyone was shocked. What are you talking about? When it comes to you making an announcement, everyone has to be hush. And when it comes to the Torah being read, everyone can talk. When it came to your honor, nobody talk. And when it came to God's honor, everyone is talking. Embarrassment. He was blown away. The person was blown away. Our job and our mission is to stand up for the honor of Hashem. Parashat Shelah, Parashat Korah, and now as you'll see in Parashat Chukat, there was a Chilul Hashem. What does Hashem say after Moshe Rabbeinu hits the rock? Ya'an lo he'emantem bi lehakdisheni. You didn't sanctify my name enough. I think it was a phenomenal Kiddush Hashem. They hit a rock and water came out. I don't care how you get water out of a rock. Beat it, take a bulldozer. If you're able to get water like that out of a rock, that is phenomenal. That, in my eyes, I would think is a Kiddush Hashem. But it would be a greater Kiddush Hashem if you went to the rock and he said, Mr. Rock, don't hit it. Say, hi Rock, could you please release water? And then boom, Niagara. Water starts flushing out. That's a phenomenal Kiddush. You're right, you can hit it with the stick. But if you spoke to the rock and you said what you're supposed to say, and there's different pirushim, maybe what he was supposed to say, he was supposed to teach the rock Torah. But either way, if you spoke to the rock instead of hitting the rock, that would have sanctified Hashem's name on a different level. Ya'an lo he'emantem bi lehakdisheni. the ta'anar Moshe Rabbeinu on his level is that you didn't sanctify my name enough. You could have done more. Again, it's about being genuine and real. It's not about putting on a show. It's realizing what zichut we have to be the chosen people and staying focused on that. Not getting lost in a gazi world where people are losing their agendas and their focuses. Realizing what our tafkid is of utmost importance. I'll leave you off with the story that happened to Rav ben David, one of the great rabbis of the Persian community. And the way it goes is that he was once in an airport with his wife, and there was an older couple over there. So they were making talk with the rabbi and the rebbitzin, and then they asked the rabbi and the rebbitzin, so where are you from? So they said, we're from Israel. Maybe the black hat, the white shirt didn't give it away. Maybe they thought they were Amish. I'm not exactly sure what they thought, but I guess it didn't give it away. We're in a bubble. We think that everybody knows, oh, we're Jewish. They see us, you go a few blocks away, they're oblivious of what a Jew is. So they heard that they're from Israel. And they said, are you Jewish? And they said, yes. They weren't sure what they're going to do. You didn't know till now. The rabbi was standing there. You didn't know till now. Nothing gave it away. They were clueless that they are Jewish. And the rabbi said that this lady, that the husband was thrown back. And they were shocked, like, what? You're Jewish! Unbelievable! And they said, can we please ask you, that's what the rabbi said. They said, can we please ask you a question? We always wanted to know about the children of God. We walk in the streets, we see show booths, we see displays in the front of stores. And we're people, we think, human things. We always wanted to know, what do you, the child of God, think about when you see this nonsense in the streets? What's going on in your mind? And the rabbi said, I was so embarrassed. Look how a goy looks at me. That's what he thinks of me. That's what this lady thinks of me, the child of God, the chosen people. You have these lofty thoughts. You're angelic. You walk in the streets. You're obviously staying focused. You're chosen. You have a mission. You don't get confused. You don't get guessed. What are you thinking about? What's going on in your mind? That's what they asked the rabbi. And the rabbi said, I was so embarrassed. Look how the goyim think of us. How do we think of ourselves? When we wake up in the morning, the first question could be how much money we're going to make, how many sales we're going to make. Or we could be thinking, how much can I stay focused on my beautiful zichut to wake up today and to make kadesh, to sanctify the name of God. In the business world, with the clients, to see our honesty, our integrity. With the family, they see how we're calm. With our peers, they see how we say Birkat HaMazon. How you could run to somewhere to make money, or you could say Birkat HaMazon, realizing it's all Hashem that sends the money. Let me say Birkat HaMazon the way I have to say Birkat HaMazon. Yeah, I'm going to drive. Yeah, I have to get back home. But how many times am I going to honk and cut someone off in order to get back home? Or am I be cordial and I see someone passing by in the street and be a human being, be normal, and say Bechavod, walk in front, instead of turning and cutting people off and acting, God forbid, the way we're not supposed to be acting. How much Kavod Hashem did we bring in our life? How much did we make Kadesh Shem Shamayim? That is supposed to be our focus. Getting closer to Hashem, loving Hashem even more, praising Hashem and realizing Baruch Elokeinu Shebera'anu Lichvodo. Thank you, Hashem, for creating me for your honor. Thank you for making me a Jew, allowing me to be your child and the chosen people, to glorify and to sanctify your name. Thank you for such a privilege. Thank you for such a zechut. There's no way to thank Hashem for such an opportunity. The goyim, maybe some of them know what kind of zechut we have, that we are chosen. Like the tzaddik that had to go to Africa to realize that, and the rabbi that heard that from a lady in the airport. We have to realize that as well. Bezat Hashem be zocheh to learn from these three parashiyot, Shelach, Korach, and Chukat. How careful we have to be when it comes to Kavod Shamayim. To learn from Yiftah, how careful we have to be when it comes to speaking. That the goyim, they see how we speak. that we don't learn from them how to speak. Our jargon is not their jargon, and their jargon is not our jargon. We have to make sure that our dibur is kadosh. A word is a word. We have to show them how we act in the streets. We have to show them what it means to be the ambassador of Hashem, to be the chosen people, what zichut we have. And like we said, it's not a show, it's real. And we have to work on it to make sure that we're internalizing it and not forgetting our great zichut that we have, Bezat Hashem Bizucheh, Bizchut the Kiddush Hashem that we do in our life, to bring tremendous kavod to Hashem and to see the Geulah, inshallah, Bekarov me'od, b'mera, b'amenu, amen, v'amen. Tizchu l'shanim rabot, and Shabbat Shalom.